Okay. We're at least doing something now, right? One damage at a time. Pokey. Alright, and I think we got rid of a few lands, because they did obviously mill a couple too. My fair citizens of Sodium City, this is the first episode that we have of Farming Fridays with the inclusion of Strixhaven Mystical Archives. Ooh, super cool, right? Loved it. However, there was just so much stuff that got released. The meta doesn't exist, I would say. Everything is everywhere. So the deck that performed the best was the Proctologist. So you probably saw it in a video a few days ago, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago. I have no idea when, but so we're going to revisit that deck. We're going to jump into that deck tech that we had a few days ago, and then we'll just jump into the constructed event, see how it did. Proctologist. Now, this is a new mono-white taxi type of deck, but it is revolving around the land destruction of Fall of the Thran and the exiling of their graveyard with Soul Guide Lantern. There's quite a few little synergies here and there with the deck. So that's what makes me worried that it's not going to be amazing, even though it turned out in testing, it turned out very good. I'm just not sure if it's going to be amazing because it might be trying to do too many things. And I'm not exactly sure. So, but all of these little tiny interactions that we'll go over are something to note. So Fall of the Thran is a 6-mana enchantment where when it comes into play, destroy all lands. And then the next 2 turns, each player returns 2 land cards from their graveyard to the battlefield. You do that for 2 more turns, which is really nice because you obviously want to recover your lands. This is the biggest key point is that it says destroy all lands. So if they are running indestructible lands, they can't be destroyed. So keep that in mind. But that is also why we are using a land called Cascading Cataracts. We're not using it for the ability like most people would use if they're using Golos or something that requires 5 colors. We're simply using it because it's indestructible, so it survives through the Fall of the Thrans. And we get the deck name from Strict Proctor. So Strict Proctor is a 2-mana 1/3 with flying, kind of shitty, but it still has a nice ass. But whenever a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability to trigger, counter that ability unless its controller pays 2. This is really, really nice. It's a lot nicer than you think. So there's quite a few things that are enter the battlefield abilities. Anything like an Ixalan's Binding or a Seal Away, anything, whatever, a Pyromancer. I think the ones that when it comes into play deals 2 damage to your face, those things, all that stuff is countered unless they pay 2 colorless. It's very cool. Now, the reason this is also very cool is because we're going to run Lotus Field, which is really tricky. So Lotus Field, it's hexproof, it enters battlefield tapped, but also when it enters battlefield, sacrifice 2 lands. And again, with Strict Proctor, it's whenever a permanent enters the battlefield causes a triggered ability to trigger. This doesn't specify opponents, so your Lotus Field will trigger an ability when it comes into play to sacrifice 2 lands. This says counter that ability unless its controller pays 2. We don't want to sacrifice land, so we're just not going to sacrifice 2, or we're just not going to pay 2 because we don't want to sacrifice 2. So turn 2, Strict Proctor, turn 3, Lotus Field. And it's just fantastic ramp, amazing. Being able to consistently and reliably use Lotus Field without having to be in red for Blood Sun is so amazing. So we're also running Gift of Estates. If we do not have Strict Proctor in the battlefield and we do need to play Lotus Field, what we're going to do is we're going to try to also have Gift of Estates in our hand. So Gift of Estates, 2-mana sorcery. If opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for up to 3 plains cards, reveal them, and put them in your hand. And again, if you're playing Lotus Field and you have to sacrifice 2 lands, you most likely have less lands than your opponent, right? Unless you are playing land destruction, then, it could change. However, in most cases, you will then have less. Then you can cast Gift of Estates, search your library for 3 plains, put them into your hand. And it's very, very good that way. And after we destroy all lands with Fall of the Thran, right? Of course, we need to have Soul Guide Lantern on the battlefield. so that we can exile the opponent's graveyard. So Soul Guide Lantern, it's just a 1 mana artifact. When it comes into play, exile a card from any graveyard. You can tap it, sacrifice it, exile each opponent's graveyard. This is just really, really nice. Once we blow up all lands with Fall of the Thran, we exile their graveyard. It's just kind of necessary, right? In the off chance we don't have a Fall of the Thran or we have 2 Soul Guide Lanterns, we can just pay 1 colorless, tap, sacrifice it to draw a card. So it's not a waste of card if it's in the deck and we have more than one of them. It doesn't necessarily feel bad. In the next 2 sagas, again on Fall of the Thran, each player returns 2 land cards from the graveyard to the battlefield. If at that time we've had more than 1 Lotus Field in the graveyard and we have a Strict Proctor on the battlefield, we can return 2 Lotus Fields to our battlefield and we don't have to sacrifice any lands because Strict Proctor is going to counter that ability to sack lands. And so we just go from 0 land to 6 land in 1 turn, which is just amazing. It's one of my favorite things to do with Fall of the Thran if you can actually execute it. Usually you can only do it with red when you incorporate Blood Sun. However, using Strict Proctor makes it possible in just white and possibly other colors if you want to go into that. So it's interesting. And we're also running a newer card called Teferi's Protection. Newer card. It's a 3 mana instant. Until your next turn, your life total can't change and you gain protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. So this is just amazing, period. It works as like a fog in mono green, just you can't, nothing happens to you, right? But you cannot do anything after you cast this. So what's really good about this is later on in the game, if you have a ton of mana, you can cast Teferi's Protection, but you can float the rest of the mana and cast Fall of the Thran, which blows up all lands. However, since Teferi's Protection phased out all your permanents, it will not blow up your lands. So the next turn you will have all your lands and everything will be fine. And it's kind of similar to Ondu's Inversion, which destroys all non-land permanents. If somehow you have that much mana later on in the game, and it somehow dragged on that long, you can Teferi's Protection and then cast Ondu's Inversion. That's 9 mana. The chances of you being able to do that and needing to do that, very, very low, but it's a possibility. It's one of the things that are there. And again, you can always change around a lot of these cards. That's just a land, it's in the deck, so I can use it as an example. And one of the cards that I'm starting to really like is Wandering Archaic. It's a 5 mana 4/4 that whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they may pay 2 colorless. If they don't, you may copy that spell and you choose new targets for the copy. So this is good against burn decks. This is good against big instant sorcery decks like ultimatum decks. This can be extremely good against. So it's, and it also stacks. It's not a legendary creature, so you can have more than one of these on the battlefield and it's still there. It is an MDFC, so you can cast it for its other side, which is just a 3 colorless mana sorcery. Each player looks at the top 5 cards of their library, reveals a land card and or an instant or sorcery card from among them, puts those cards revealed this way into their hand, the rest at the bottom of their library in a random order. Each player gains 3 life. So this is good for life gain, but also emergency card draw. Yes, you do also give it to your opponent. However, if you're destroying lands, their lands, not ours, it's not really that bad, right? But every time, this is surprisingly very, very good against control as well. So if somehow you're able to actually stick this on the battlefield, and then you try casting other things and they counter it, and they can't pay 2, so you have to copy their counter, obviously, and then you counter their counter with a copy of their counter that you countered, or that you copied because they didn't pay the tax to prevent you from copying their counter, right? So it's really cool, but it's not always there. And again, super late game, it's a lot less effective, especially when you don't have a Fall of the Thran. The thing is that if you have this on the board and then Fall of the Thran hits, no matter any type of recovery that they want to do, unless they're a only creature deck, like a creature only deck, they're going to give you free spells, which is just fantastic. And the other tax card that we are actually running is going to be Reidane, God of Worthy. It's a 3 mana 2/3 flying vigilance, also part of our win conditions. But snow lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped, which can be relevant for sure. And then non-creature spells your opponents cast with converted mana cost 4 or greater cost 2 colorless more to cast. So this is really good, again, against control matchups because of the fact that all their board wipes are going to be 4 mana and higher. So forcing them to pay 6 for it instead is also very good. And then once you get to the point where you can also Fall of the Thran, putting them back to, 0 lands instead of 6 mana, Reidane can kind of just run away with the game at that point. Now the other side of Reidane is Valkmira's Protector Shield, which is still one of my favorite cards. 4 mana artifact. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage to you or a permanent you control, prevent 1 of that damage. So this is just amazing. It works against everything, obviously, except for Questing Beast and Stomp, which are very commonly used cards. But regardless, anything that has a ton of tokens, it's fantastic against. And then it has whenever you or another permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, counter that ability unless its controller pays 1. So it's kind of double dipping in the Proctor category, but it's still very good. And I believe the last little bit of synergy that we have in this deck currently is Settle the Wreckage. So Settle the Wreckage, 4 mana board wipe, exile all attacking creatures target player controls. That player may search his or her library for that many basic land cards, put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, then they shuffle their library. So this is very good. It sucks for us if we have to do it for a big number early on. However, mid to late game, if we have to do this and it's on a ton of creatures, it's very good. If we can completely get rid of all the basic lands in their deck and then cast Fall of the Thran, that's amazing because that means they cannot get any type of searching if they have Cultivate or whatever. The only thing they can do is get their dual lands, and that's if they haven't played any already. So it's really, really funny when you're able to do the Settle the Wreckage and the Fall Thran combo, but again, you have to be very, very cautious when using Settle the Wreckage because obviously you don't want to just ramp people into their own Ugins or whatever it is. If you want to take this deck and build it at home, it's going to run you 44 rares and 3 mythics. Not that bad, right? So, but I will also say that this deck is the truth. Highly recommend playing it. It's very fun. It's got a lot of the new cards in it as well, but watch out for Teferi's Protection. It's a scary, scary card. I think I punted with it maybe 3 or 4 times. So keep that in mind. Probably would have won a lot of those games. I didn't even really lose, actually. I didn't lose very many games at all, but the ones that I did was usually because of Teferi's Protection punts, because I didn't understand exactly how the card worked. So learn from my mistakes. And if you want to see me rework any of these decks, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and let me know what you want to see exactly in the comment section below. I do come out with videos 7 days a week. You don't want to miss a single one. If you want to see me build and play all these decks live, then go ahead and make sure to follow me over at twitch.tv/StriderStone. I stream 5 days a week, every day except Monday and Thursday. Schedule in the description below. And as for yesterday's comment question of the day, I asked you, what card in MTGA do you wish had an animation? Here are your answers. If you want your comment featured in these videos, make sure you answer the comment question of the day every single day, 7 days a week in the comment section below. Stay salty and enjoy the games. All right, so this will be the first historic event, Strixhaven. Oh, we haven't even gotten to really explore a lot of the new cards, even though it's been probably about a week. I've tried so many different decks doing different things, but I haven't, how do you say this? So usually when you're trying new things, right, you sit there and you try something and then you change one thing at a time to find out what works and what doesn't work. But when a new set comes out that has like a billion super cool, I mean, obviously billion's an exaggeration, but when it has like so many fucking cool things, I just want to try all of the things. That's like all I've been doing. I've just been trying all of the things. So I have no idea like what works and what doesn't yet. It's just kind of there. All right, well, I definitely didn't need another one of those. Guess I should have played that other lantern. I didn't expect to draw a card from that, I think. Nice. Haha! A tit for a tit. Or tat. Tit for tat? Something like that? What's that say? What's that phrase? It's tit for tat, right? Whatever. We got their cling, that's all that matters. Okay. Does this loses a life? Fuck, okay. So Reidane doesn't really do anything here. It's a great card, but we need a Proctor in order for that to actually do anything useful. I think I'm fine just drawing a card here. If I have to, I'll Teferi's Protection. No. I guess I should have scryed first. I was like, hey, can I full control in response? In response to it. Nice. It's fine. Well, let's see what kind of removal they have. I like the Archaic a lot. So we have to pay an extra 2, or else we get to do it back to them. Unfortunately, they get our Fall of the Thran, which is quite annoying. But, I mean, that was a 4-mana Agonizing Remorse. Sure. I probably should have attacked with that. I think a Settle here is really nice, even though we still take a lot of damage. Ugh. Let's just go and draw a card from this. Do we scry? No. Yeah. Perfect. Now we have a grip of lands. Wow! Cool. Yeah, I actually really like Gift of Estates sometimes. Ugh. Okay. So this. I think they actually block? Okay, they don't. This is a really bad matchup only because all of that is life loss. Yeah, we're just gonna have to do that. I was hoping to thin out the deck so we wouldn't get lands for a while, but it doesn't look like that's happening. Sure. They paid the extra 2 for the Wandering Archaic. Are they gonna pay the extra 1 for the shield? Is it gonna be a 4 mana shitty Duress Art? They decided to not pay for that. It's actually a really good question. So, what is this? Looks top 5. Reveal a land card and or an instant or sorcery card. Damn. That's unfortunate. How many gain? Each player gains 3 life? That's not too bad. They would have to have 2 disfigures. They actually top decked 2 of them? Wow, they top decked all fucking... Wow, they had like exactly enough. Jesus Christ. Are you fucking kidding me? That shit's annoying. Alright, well... I don't know what I can do now. That thing gets huge.
That's a huge bitch.
Nice. I don't even think that gets me anything. Gets me nothing. Damn. What else did we have? Oh, we had all of our Raidens. We had 3 more Settles. We had 2 Ondu's Interventions. We had 1 more Teferi's Protections. We had a lot of outs. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of outs. We had a lot of fucking outs. We just didn't draw any of them. That sucks. Yep. 'Tis magic. 'Tis magic. The Archaic is really cool. I definitely liked the Archaic. Ooh. We have the combo.
Nope.
Ew. God damn it. Hopefully they could just get rid of the Soul Guide Lantern. Well, no, they can Kroza. They can get like a big dick Kroza. If they don't. Yeah, that could be really bad. Zerda. Play something. Why did you shock in a land? Grixis land destruction? With Zerda? Strict Proctor? God damn it! Alright, so they had a creature kill spell then. Well, fuck me. This just got very bad, actually. Do they have counter spells? Zerda seems like this is a weird thing. So sure. I'll take it. Now I wish I had my lantern out still. I didn't make a fucking creature. Did not make a creature with my castle. I hate when I do that. Sell all cards from all graveyards. Oh. Oh, how much does that cost? 2? 2 in Sack of Desert? Forgot to make a creature again. Jesus. It's 2 1/1s I missed. Oh my god. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Yeah. So they have a counterspell, or else they would not have shocked that in, right? Yeah. Alright, you got it, fuckface. You got it!
Will be your end.
Yeah, I just don't know at what time I can do, and I don't know. I don't know at what time I can actually do anything about that. I'm just constantly holding up a counter spell, but I don't know which one. Losing to the Bad Bolus. The Bad Bolus brothers. Triple B. I hate it. I hate losing to garbage decks. I hate losing to Grixis. Grixis is so fucking annoying to me. Because I always lose to it. Always lose to Grixis. This is fine. I need to get the shield out like as soon as possible. The combo. Okay, don't thought Steve me, bro. I need to get this Reidane down. I need to get this Raiden's shield down. It's fine. Steal 3 damage. Oh, I lose 3 life. Okay. It's fine. Alright. That helps a lot. It's exactly what we needed. We're taking 1 damage from this Pyromancer now. Nothing else. Got it. Okay, so that's... No Thoughtseize for you. I guess not that it really mattered.
Don't care.
I'll do it anyway just to get the points on it. Okay, once again, we're still only taking 1 damage. They make us discard the Ondus, it's fine. We're gonna have to pay extra mana for that. We're kind of on a whatever. Got it. Alright, so we get to draw 2. Which is nice. Good card. I decline. just gonna use up the rest of my mana. Because I had the extra 2. If they have a claim the Firstborn, they have a claim. Have a push, alright. They had a Kroza, that could have been really bad. So I'm kind of glad they just killed it. Not too upset about it. Okay, so they're gonna exile their Thoughtseize, which is great. Yeah, that's great. And we still get our land drop. You know? Currently, everything is fine. Currently, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mm-hmm. Faithless looting, sweet. Cannot wait to settle the wreckage into a fall Thran. Super excited about it. Super duper excited. I can draw 3 cards out of this, which is perfect. Fine. 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 I don't want to draw cards anyway. Yeah, if they have a Proctor, or if they have a Kroza, kinda fucked. Alright. 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 Not particularly what we wanted. Yeah. Yeah. Don't know if they might attack with one of the Dreadhorde Arcanists just because the Archaic. They have 2 of them. And I have something in my hand now. There's a lot of mana for a Spark Harvest. There's a lot of mana for a Spark Harvest. I don't appreciate it. I don't have, like, Reidane as a creature doesn't do anything for us, right? Can just kill us. Once they claim it. Suppose they should just exile their graveyard. Ooh. Yep. So they did in fact have it. Why would you pay it? Oh, they're not paying the other one. Got it. Or they paid for that, but not the escape? Oh my gosh. Come on now. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So that's a dead card. Can just do that. Decline. We have to get... Yeah, we have to get this fast. That was their only basic? Got it. Okay. I need to follow the Thran. Right fucking now. I don't even know why I did that.
Nice!
Yeah. Let's do this. Sacrifice their shit. As long as they don't kill our Proctor, we can bring back some Lotus Fields, right? It's 2 damage? That's fine. Yep. I am gonna get the castle back though. Decline. Okay. We're at least doing something now, right? One damage at a time. Pokey. Alright, and I think we got rid of a few lands, because they did obviously mill a couple too. Okay, so they only have 1 land still. Yeah, and they had no more basics, that's right. Because when we settled them before, Isn't this 3 or cheaper? It is. They got 2 land now. I forgot to make creatures. Done that so many times. I think I put my blast zone to 2. Sure. Maybe I'll just put it up to 3. Yeah, 'cause that's 2. Yeah, I'm like, you're gonna die eventually. It's just a matter of time now. Just a matter of time. It took forever, but at least we beat it. We shouldn't technically lose in that matchup. Yeah, we shouldn't lose. Shouldn't. Have an archaic. We have a Lotus Field, but we don't have a Proctor. I worry about keeping it because there's no Proctor. But we're keeping it anyway. Is there mono blue tempo is 1 and 2? Please don't be mono blue tempo. I don't really know what you are, but I really don't want you to do anything with blue. This deck. Got it. Yeah, I hear this deck is not very good, but if they can do some shit, then they can do some shit. Obviously, it's a pretty powerful card. But luckily we have a couple tools to deal with it. It's more of a do we get the tools type of thing. And I think I might just straight up wait, not even scry with that. I think I just strictly use it for card draw. It's like 100% card draw. I typically only do that anyway. Yeah, we could be fucked.
We are totally fucked.
I'll win by blade or by bolt.
It's good. Also good. Could have negate. Suck. So this does 0 damage to me now. Except that emblem is a pain. I kind of wanted to play Reidane as just the creature, but I'm assuming they have counter spells, right? Shit.
I've learned lots of techniques from artists.
Just depends on how many extra turns they can take, really. And value 1 or greater? Hmm. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mari teach some good moves.
They definitely have enough for just another extra turn. Yeah, bouncing Reidane. Just one. Won them the game. We need a Teferi's time. Yeah, I need a Teferi. Teferi's protection. If I can get a Teferi's protection, we're kind of okay-ish.
Need my sword to win.
Damn it. Getting rid of my life gain too. It's like the worst thing they could have just done. The second worst thing. Wow. Nice fuckwad. Nice. Way to slow roll. You got me. You got me. All right, 1 and 3. Perfect. Best farming deck ever.
I'm not.
Deck is definitely meant for ladder. However, we need to take out the archaics. If we took out the archaics, I think the deck would just be better in general. The archaics are just, they're kind of slowing the deck down a bit, I think. It's a really cool card, I like it, but they just need to be removed. 4 slots. It's 4 fucking slots, and they're expensive. There's just so many things going on right now with the format that having this in here is just simply not good enough. So we would have to take those out, add in a Teferi's protection, probably take out another Gift of Estates. I do like Gift of Estates though. I think that might be okay in here. What else? We're definitely having problems with some planeswalkers. Other things. This might just throw in like... We do have 2 Heliod's interventions. It's typically fine. 4 settles into... Maybe we just go into like a 4 Fall of the Thrans. Or... 4 elixirs. That might do it. 24 and then 25, 26. So we have 26 lands, including Ondus. Maybe that'll work a little bit better. I could take out one of the elixirs and throw in another Fall of the Thran. think the elixir will help a lot, though. I think those are the changes I would probably make in order to make this more reliable for a Farming Friday type of thing. The only other thing I would do, if this doesn't work out for whatever reason, I would... If you're running into a ton of aggro, I would take out the 2 Gift of Estates, add in 2 Doomskars, because it's also something you can do on turn 2 with the Foretelling, so it doesn't really fuck up your curve that much. You could take out 1 Reidane, maybe add a 3rd Doomskar. Yeah. We are running 4 Soul Guide Lanterns, so there should be enough graveyard hit, because there's a lot of graveyard stuff going on right now. That should be enough. Proctor is needed for the Lotus Fields. Cataracts we have just for Fall of the Thran, so that should be fine. Elixir is strictly for life gain and card draw. So that's, like, I guess, somewhat of a weak point. You don't have to have Elixir. I just think it's a really nice cherry on top. You could, if you don't want to do that, I mean, at this point, we're really just killing with Reidane and Proctor and Castle of Ardenvale. It's the only thing we're killing with. We don't have any actual, because now that we took out the Wanderer was our 4/4, which is kind of like our beat stick. Now we don't have that, and there's no approach of the second sun in here. So that's a problem as well. Let's see. So if we want to add more of a... else... That might just be what you need to do. Just kind of keep it like this. Keep it a little bit lower to the ground. I kind of want to put in a 4th Fall of the Thran, just to make it easier, but with 4 Cosmos Elixirs, you should be able to draw it a lot sooner. So that should help a lot more. So if you're having problems farming it, like I said, when you're doing the Farming Fridays, or you're just farming gold, you'll run into situations where you'll just lose, you know? You have to always adjust based on what the meta is. A lot of times, most of the time, if not all the times, when we go into constructed events, like you've seen in the past, what, like 2 months, 3 months, or however long we've been doing Farming Fridays, we go up against, like, all the decks we go up against are decks from 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Like, they're all really old decks, because these are where primarily all the free-to-play players go to farm their gold. It's where a lot of the aggro players go. But you look at the games today, and it's like a lot of new decks. Well, a lot. I mean, we only played 4 games. So, but there was like 3 new decks, I think. And so it's different. You have to build your deck around what is in that meta, what is in that queue at that time. And stuff changes all the time. And that's the hardest part about this, is that if you're trying to farm gold, you can't get discouraged. You will go 0-3, you will go 1-3, but you will go 7-0, you'll go 7-1, 7-2. Like, it will happen, everything in between. You just want to make sure that you're up at that 3 to 4 win at least every single time, or on average rather, so that you're always making a profit. That's the most important part. As long as you can do that, you should be fine. But yeah, off of what I just saw now, these changes should get you there. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to this point, it means you either really enjoyed the video or you fell asleep and I'm waking you up now. Either way, thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, come out with videos 7 days a week.